Good morning, Eric Arnold here in the sports barn. It is, just after midnight, I guess, so that would make it Friday morning, the 2nd of October. Here to give you the second half of our college football picks for this weekend. Apologize, the day got away from me, so you didn't get your Thursday night NFL pick. In case you were just dying to bet the 0-3 Broncos versus the 0-3 Jets. Mark said something like, who bets these games? I mean, why would anyone watch this game? And of course, now, he went home and watched it. I guess his point was, who would bet this game? It's like, us! We bet these games. I mean, why? He said, why? I said, because it's there. It's an intellectual puzzle. Maybe more accurately, it's action. It's something to do. So I apologize. I left you to your own devices on that game. I don't know what. I don't know what I would have done there. I just didn't. Occasionally I actually have to do real work that brings me actual money. The money doesn't fall out of the sky anymore now with this goddamn self-induced idiocy that we have here. So. Well, that's the way it goes. Baseball, the Reds, they're out. How many innings did they play? 20-some? 0 runs? Come on, man. I mean, that's just bad. Leftover bit of a cigar. I thought I'd finish off out here. What else? Kudos to the Padres. They look like they were dead. They're off the mat. They've got a fighting chance now to advance. Kudos to the A's. They were on the mat, and they won the last 2 there against the White Sox. Just too soon, I guess, for the White Sox. They should have finished those guys. They should have finished them, and they didn't. They couldn't. They had multiple chances, and they couldn't put them away. So the A's move on. The Yankees, they walked through that good Cleveland pitching like it wasn't even there. They look like they're a dangerous team. The Rays, they look like they're a dangerous team. Should be interesting once we get to the division series. See who comes out of that. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got through the first half of the card. So let's do the afternoon and late evening games. Memphis SMU. This is interesting. Memphis has owned these guys, totally owned these guys in the past few years. SMU is getting closer to them, getting closer. Just on the face of it, it looks to me like SMU is the better team. Really, I don't see any reason in the world to pick Memphis here, except that they've owned these guys. Memphis hasn't played in like a month. All streaks have to end, and I think it's sometimes a foolhardy error in trying to pick when that end of the streak is, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it here. We're going to take SMU. We're going to say this is the end of the streak. Why not? I mean, if there was a better time for something to end, a streak to end, you would want kind of chaotic conditions. And can you think of any more chaotic than where we're at right now? There, we'll put 1 star there. We don't love it. Let's see. So here's an interesting game. When last seen Texas Tech, well, let's put it this way. When Texas Tech last had the ball, they had a 2-touchdown lead and were doing the down horns thing, and they were all happy. And then Texas got 3 consecutive possessions, scored on all 3 of them, put them behind, they couldn't answer, and they lost at home. You got to feel like shit after that happens. And then you got poor old Kansas State here. What were they, down like 21 points at Norman in the 4th quarter, and they came back to win? So you got 2 teams doing opposite things here. I don't know how you do anything but take the team that feels good. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take the team that feels good. The team that feels good is Kansas. Kansas State, I should say. You know, don't be confused. There's a difference. Kansas State good, Kansas bad. Kansas State, you know, we had them earlier at home this year. They didn't get it done against Arkansas State, but, you know, 2.5 points. I mean, I think Kansas State's going to get this game. You know, unless we think that game at Oklahoma was just a complete fluke. No, I like these guys here in this spot. Like them a lot. So we'll go ahead and take Kansas State there. Oh, what's next? Our friend Mike, Mike Gundy. I think that's right. Gundy, the mullet, the man that covers spreads. He's going up against poor old Les Miles and the crummy Jayhawks. Well, you know we're taking Gundy there. You know, he hasn't gotten it going yet as far as like explosive offense and scoring lots of points. He's going to have to here, though, I mean, to cover that number. So we're going to say he's going to do it. I mean, history tells us that at some point, Gundy's going to get a big number up there, and he's going to get one going. So we're hoping. What do we got here? Oh, my goodness. Hold the phone. I guess we really think this is going to happen. 3 stars. This is our top play. I'm dicking around with my cigar. I should sell that more. Oklahoma State. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of points. But I like these big away dogs, I think. I think that focuses these teams sometimes. You know, if they were in Stillwater, they'd be goofing around and doing dances. And, you know, I think it just focuses them a little bit that, hey, they might jump up and play hard right now because they're at home. We need to bring our best. You know, and then you get out to those nice 28-0 leads. When you're a big favorite, that's what you want, you know. Score fast and early and knock them out. I don't know how you do anything else down here. This is a big game. Alabama, Texas A&M. I don't know how you do anything other than take Nick Saban and Alabama. These guys had Missouri beaten and covered last week, and then the backups came in and played poorly. Which I'm know, pissed Nick Saban off a lot. You're not going to see them this week, though. Not going to see them. He's going to get up. If he gets up on Texas A&M, the starters are going to stay in until he gets a thorough drubbing. And then you might see the backups. You might not even see the backups. I mean, Texas A&M might keep this game close enough, you know, within 3 scores or so. Saban will never put the backups in. So, you know, I don't see anything other than, big Alabama win here. Interesting game here. I mean, I don't know there's that much of a difference between these two teams, other than Virginia Tech had a huge game last week. It's like, was that just an aberration? Or are they really that good? Well, the model makes assumptions, and the model's going to assume they're that good. So if they're not, we're screwed. But model says, yeah, sure, they did it. I mean, they put all them points on the board. They racked up all them yards. So we're going to say, yeah, they are that good. And we're putting a top play on it. So, you know, got Virginia Tech going to Duke and killing them. That's what we're going to say is going to happen. That one feels a little funny to me, really, honestly. It feels a little funny, but what the hell? We'll go with it. Ole Miss at Kentucky. I told you I don't like Lane Kiffin. About the only coach in the SEC I like less than him is Stoops at Kentucky. And we did like what Kiffin did against Florida. I mean, he scored points. He got some things going there. I don't know if Kentucky did all that much business against Auburn. So, I think if you say Auburn and Florida are relatively equivalent, I definitely think Ole Miss showed better than Kentucky did against Auburn. I'll take Ole Miss here. This is an interesting game, this Armed Forces game. This is the opener for Air Force, whereas Navy's played, I think, 3 games. This game opened at a pick'em and has been bet now Navy -7. I guess figuring that they've now found their feet, they've practiced enough that they're in a rhythm, and they expect Air Force, who runs the same kind of offense as Navy, will come out disjointed and clumsy, and it'll take them a game or 2 to find their feet, and meanwhile Navy will kick the shit out of them. That's very likely going to happen, I think, but we're just going to go ahead and say Air Force maybe is a little more prepared than Navy was, and they're going to keep it close. Georgia Southern, this is really, Georgia Southern, here's the interest, this Monroe. That's what we're after. They stink. I mean, that's a team, we're probably looking at the worst team in college, certainly Division A, or 1A, maybe, this is a double A team, really. So we definitely want Southern here. We'll take that, make that a top play. Monroe got beat by UTEP by over 25 points. Southern's a hell of a lot better than UTEP. So, those guys should go up and down the field on Monroe like nobody's business. That should be a big score. Big number there, I think. Oh, here's an interesting matchup out of the Big 10, or Big 12, Big 10. Who were they? Oh, that's right. That's got Central Arkansas and Eastern Kentucky. I forgot. Oklahoma coming off the big loss, the big come-from-ahead loss. Yeah, I made a comment years ago about when Stoops retired out there, and I thought, who is Lincoln Riley, and why is he the head of this premium program? And I think I've been proven correct in that he's just been very average. He's been given the keys to a Cadillac, and I don't know he deserved it. And he's been very average. Now he's going up against one of the best coaches in the Big 12, Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Again, 2 teams feeling different ways. We feel sad here. Oklahoma feels sad. Iowa State, they won down at TCU. They feel good. We're going to take the team that feels good. We don't want the team that feels sad. We want the good coach, Matt Campbell. We don't want the bad coach, Lincoln Riley. We want the good coach. So we'll take Iowa State. Tulsa, Central Florida. If you don't know this, Central Florida is like the new Oregon. They're the let's run as many plays as freaking possible, and say what you want about the old Chip Kelly. I don't know what the new Chip Kelly does because he's in some conference that doesn't play right now, so you never see him. But the old Chip Kelly at Oregon, that dude covered numbers. He just outscored the bookie. The bookie he put, well, let's make the line 28. Chip would score 36. Well, let's make the number 33. Chip would score 40. He would just outscore everybody. Just run play after play after play after play. That was their whole MO. Let's go as fast as freaking possible. And in college, that thing works because you basically just bury, your team is deeper than most of these jabroni type teams you're playing. So in the fourth quarter, the other team's just worn out and you're just burying them with garbage touchdowns. So that's kind of the thinking here is that Josh Heupel and the Golden Knights, they're just going to bury Tulsa in the second half with pace, with speed, with tempo, with points, essentially. I put that game up, Auburn, Georgia. I mean, you know, that's, I don't have a real good look at this one, but, you know, it's a game I would say most people care about, rather than these other games. We're going to take Kirby Smart. We'll take him for a star. Why not? We think he's better than Gus. Gus Malzahn on. We'll take Kirby. Lay the points. I don't like this game at all. I think the model's wrong here. This one just does not seem right to me. But I'm not going to go against it. It says, historically, a team like LSU should go up to Vanderbilt and should cover that number. I'm thinking to myself, model, did you see these last two games? You know, LSU couldn't stop anybody. That defense was awful. And you know, you expect them to cover 21 at Vanderbilt? It's a big number, especially a team that just held, you know, one of these pinball scoring offenses to under 20. Vanderbilt, I'm talking about. Don't know. The model says historically LSU should cover, so I don't know. Mississippi State, Arkansas. Well, I guess we're going to go, you know, how can you go against the guy that just pulled off this giant upset, setting up his whole season? I mean, I guess you could say, okay, now it's time for a huge letdown. You know, he just beat the team. You know, he beat the man. Really, when you think about it, Mike Leach has the belt. He has the belt. To be the man, you have to beat the man, and Mike Leach beat the man. So he now has the belt. You know, I don't know, Arkansas deserves a title shot here at the belt, but they're going to get one. Yeah, you know, I don't think there's a lot of letdowns in college football. In other words, you pull that huge upset, it happens, but honestly, I think what happens just as often as the huge letdown after the big upset, they just keep rolling and kick the shit out of people because they're good. They're better than people expect. Mississippi State is better than, you know, let's say these guys are really good. Well, maybe LSU's pretty good too then. You know, and maybe Mississippi State should be like 30-point favorites over Arkansas. You know, what was Georgia favored by? 4 touchdowns? Maybe Mississippi State is, you know, in that Georgia type category. And we're getting a bargain here at -17. Possibly. That's possible. Well, we'll see what happens. Southern Miss, we've been subjected to a number of their games. We're actually going to take them this time. We're going to take Southern Miss. We're going to say this is a nice spot for the young 30-year-old new coach whose name I do not know. But he's, you know, Mr. Newbie, Mr. Hey, I got nothing to lose. You know, I think he's got a pretty talented team just because of some of the numbers we've seen in the games leading up to this one. And now he's got a team he can handle possibly. So let's see if he gets it done. Lastly, the ABC game, I guess. You know, this will be what, your CBS game of the week? Or would it be this? I guess this. And then I guess this is your ABC game of the week. Oh boy, you know, the thrill of seeing if Clemson can basically cover the spread. That's the only mystery in this game. We're going to say they are going to cover the spread. Take 2 stars there. I think this is a game where Dabo kind of needs to make a statement. Needs to put up a big number just to say, hey, we're still here, we're relevant. You know, I know we play in a shitty conference, but, you know, another factor here, Clemson, oddly enough, has what's shaping up to be a pretty big game next week with Miami. I mean, who would have thought? But, you know, Miami's playing really well. They're putting some big numbers on the board. So, you know, Clemson, Yeah, they've been off a week now, and I kind of think that this might be a spot where Swinney might be looking at it going, you know what, I'm not resting people in this Virginia game. I want to be tuned up as sharp as a razor for that Miami game. So we are going to tune up the Virginia Cavaliers. We're going to wipe them out. I want to make sure that this team is ready to eat nails going into that Miami game. So, I think, that's always been my view in college football. They don't look ahead and take games off in college. The coach, when he's coming up upon a big game, he generally wants that team ready. And he's going to beat the shit out of whoever's that poor tune-up team, which in this case is Virginia. So that's the view here. Now, if you see it the other way, like, well, they're going to take this game off because they're looking ahead to Miami. They sure as hell wouldn't want Clemson here. But, I don't see it that way. I see this as a spot for Clemson to really, tune themselves up, if you will, to really get their gears meshing. All right, that's what we got there for you. So we'll have to get the NFL up at some point later today, I guess. So you can have your all done by the weekend. Then I can goof off all weekend, I guess, or at least watch football. Honestly, the game I'm looking forward to on Sunday, I'm looking forward to Nick Foles. He's the one player in the NFL I would pay money to watch. And now he's starting in Chicago. My year in Philadelphia is essentially over. So, God, I'm kind of going to be a Bears fan. I don't know if that makes my wife happy or not. She's a massive Bears fan. But I love me some Nick Foles. And, I'll watch to see if that dude can walk on water again. I'll watch, absolutely. So, looking forward to the Bears-Colts game Sunday. We'll have to come up with some actual handicapping ideas because I haven't looked at it at all yet. But we will, and see if we can dial in some more W's. Good. Thanks for being here. Appreciate the loyalty. Hit the like, all that good stuff. Like button, subscribe, whatever you want to do. This is a libertarian barn. It's all free here in the barn. We have freedom here in the barn. Maybe not so much outside that door there, but freedom here in the barn so you can do what you like. Thanks for being here. Good evening, good night, good morning. It's good morning. And we'll see you again. Good handicapping.